I printed that whole, the deeds, deed put my name and Susan's.
Yeah, that's just the one for.
I think so,
My
yeah, I'll
name's
go
Bill,
with
and I
it.
want to thank everyone for
That's not.
getting on the internet for our town board meeting. I think I should go adjust that camera just a touch. Do you want to look at it and see if it's changed?
Description?
No, the deed fall, actually. I'd actually probably look at it real quick.
Gotta fix the camera.
Just a touch.
Hey, Ed, you got leave from climbing on the chair this week.
Yeah.
Got a pole to do that. Like I tell you.
I don't think
A little
we
more.
should approve.
A little more.
Can't see this.
Yes.
We're good now, guys.
Keep going. A hair more now. You're still getting the tiles.
From what I remember.
There we go.
I don't want any heat. Usually the power going out
This
makes
one
you
is
do that, but I didn't think the power went out.
I didn't either.
Well, at least I haven't.
I pushed it up earlier. Thought it was down.
Rich,
And I did it last Tuesday for the.
Not the whole lot.
No.
Just this part of
Hey,
it.
cool.
Yeah.
So I need to have her.
He's gonna take a picture of it, 'cause that's what we need.
Yeah,
Well, it says
Okay,
James and
let's
Susan,
get this file
that's
first.
wrong.
yeah, because my name is on both of these and they're combining, so but I think he still has a separate. Yeah,
And this one, yeah, I understand.
and then this one too, we purchased later.
But that's in your.
Yeah, my son
That's in your-
lives in Houston, works for Verizon.
Yeah, so that should be pretty easy.
Yeah, and this is.
This.
Okay, I'd like to start do a little prayer. Lord, be with us today as we conduct the town's business and help guide us in what we do. We ask this in your name, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Now we do the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
We'll start out with the privilege of floor. Anybody has anything? If not,
So that was the
um,
tax number.
I'd like to approve the minutes from September's meeting.
I move we approve.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Financial report. Vouchers have been signed by the board members. Anybody got any questions about the vouchers, which I'm sure nobody's looked at them, so. But we need to approve the vouchers.
Did you want to give the amounts, Bill?
Oh, yes, the amount for the general fund, Carol, 17,806.10. The highway was 135, 244.26.
I make a motion that we accept the vouchers for payment or approval.
It'll be a roll call.
Reichert,
Aye.
Douglas,
Aye.
Strozo,
Aye.
Evans.
And I'm sorry, Carol, right off the bat, I forgot to mention that Mr. Brixey asked to be absent, excused from the meeting today. I did receive the town clerk's report, approved that. And while I'm right on the town clerk had an audit this week. And it's here, they come out perfect as far as,
I'll look at it
Zero.
if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Now that I know what I'm looking at.
just look at the bottom line where it says negative or positive.
And who did the audit?
Jean did.
Gene did it.
which is a good thing that, Carol's just being on, what was your third month?
Mhm.
Yeah, get that.
All right. Thank you.
Somebody would,
I make a motion that we approve the audited town clerk's report.
No second.
all in favor?
Uh,
Opposed? Good. I had no budget transfers yet. It's early. Nobody has any more questions on the financial report. We'll move on to the assessor.
She just said that the conference she went to was good.
She learned something, huh?
And yeah, she said there's a lot of new things coming down the line.
Sweet. Okay. Buildings and grounds.
I don't have anything.
I do.
What do you have?
What are you doing tomorrow? Of
David,
course you are.
how about Thursday?
How about Thursday?
I've got to meet with a gentleman on Reservoir at 11 real quick about a driveway.
You better get done tomorrow, I'm putting the driveway in for my,
Well, Kevin's paving, so that's definitely out.
yeah, maybe Thursday. First thing in the morning.
That's fine with me.
I'd rather do it early.
I can run until about 10 minutes to 11, then I got to run up on Reservoir for 20 minutes.
Hopefully
Should
we're
be
done by
then.
9.
Yeah, it shouldn't take long. I'll
Okay.
bring my Sawzall.
Is this for
I
the
got a cordless Sawzall.
Okay.
solar panels?
Solar
Yeah.
panels. They knew what I was talking about.
Yes.
Because we were gonna do it like a week ago and then it was rainy and then the
Rained all
next week it was paving and yes.
Tomorrow's paving.
And I was gonna do it today and I got distracted and I'm gonna get a hold of Kevin Letty. I called him a while back and he never called me back. I wanna get these lights fixed that are flickering.
You got more than one flickering now?
I think.
Well,
we
that's
changed
one
it.
out there and there's one over here.
Oh, okay.
That one there, he said he could get up there with a ladder and I said, okay, I'll watch you. He wasn't worried a bit. I know it.
Wouldn't catch me doing it.
Me neither, Jim.
I think we have to adjust the timers too.
I
because
did.
Okay, so that
Yeah, I
was
did
that.
good. Okay, because I know
I used
last
to do
week
that.
we were.
I had to do it
dark.
twice because I didn't set it right the first
They're
time.
having Wednesday too at
We
the
got ours
Historical
over.
Society.
They were on when I come in today, so
Okay.
this evening. So hopefully I'm good for a while now.
Next time changer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have I've been asked by the market out there again if come spring, now that the market's pretty much open, if we can get rock and the one truck here from the fish fry got stuck, so they want to see. And I didn't see if it's up anywhere, but did we hear anything about for the Rescue Act monies? Did we contact?
No.
No, okay.
And the deadline to submit the first report has been put off until spring.
Spring, yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
The other thing is on buildings and grounds that I'm thinking about too is, and I was gonna ask Ed, would he be interested in finishing the bathrooms? I mean, he's an employee for us.
Who?
Kevin, I'm
I was
sorry.
gonna say that.
Done some plumbing. Some call myself a master plumber.
As an employee, it'd just be a lot easier to employ the guy to
But yeah, get it,
finish it up.
tell me you want an estimate on it first.
As time wise,
Well, yeah.
because we have the material, well, some of the materials, the two
Yeah,
by
you're
fours
gonna
are there
need-
for the walls.
Yeah, you gotta run your plumbing line out to the septic, you gotta do wiring outside, you gotta,
And that has to have a pump or something
the
on it,
pump's
right?
here.
Right, so let's not put that until spring.
Yeah,
Why would
I
it-
think the pump's already in the container, the unit, I think,
Oh, I see.
but it's just not hooked up. We gotta run wire to it. And
Which you know where that is and Kevin
It's
doesn't.
in the code office, there's office, it's right on that big container there, with all the files in it.
Well, I'd like to, if you guys don't mind, if Kevin would do it. I mean, he's gotta be cheaper than having a contractor come in and do it.
Yeah, 'cause it's not prevailing wage.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Right.
So that's one of the main reasons why I'd like to see if Kevin will do
See
it.
if he'd be interested.
Yeah,
And,
get a quote.
we get the rest of that siding up and get it out of there. If not, we'll just put the siding in the other end and leave it there till,
Siding shouldn't take long once we get,
but we haven't done it yet.
no,
Dick
my daughter's
Zavato,
house is done.
offered, he wanted me to mention that he did offer, to put together a group for to contact people to get a one volunteer weekend or however many to finish that siding project. If you guys were okay with that, he can kind of coordinate it. He
Yeah,
said
you
he'd
just,
be
you
happy
just
to
need
do
skilled
that.
labor is what you
Yeah,
need. That's,
right.
that's the issue.
So he would like advertise it on Facebook?
Yeah,
you're
he would
saying?
coordinate
Okay.
to get volunteers, and then, if we set a date, he would contact everybody and try to get them at that particular day to do it. That way we would have somebody, that is skilled, that, we can have that set up, and then the manpower would be here to finish that part of it. So,
And Dick talked to me a little bit about that, and he did say that he would make sure that he got like a qualified person to be kind of the leader, somebody who knew where to put the.
Well, that's gonna be Jim, isn't it?
Well,
Yeah.
part of
Yeah.
for the most part,
Well,
yeah.
I think he was trying to get in contact with Kevin Luddy to see if he would be,
Well,
the
not,
one-
not only that, Ron Fay has already participated in putting
Yeah.
this together, so he has an idea.
Yeah,
So you're looking at Ron and Jim
oh, cool.
and I'm not gonna say myself, I'm a go-getter. But, yeah, I mean, we just gotta get the guys together and finish it up. I don't think there's a half a day's worth of work to get the rest of that siding up. And,
Shouldn't be.
well, if you're done with your house, we'll get together on, hopefully
I'll
without
be gone for about 3 weeks,
starting,
Monday or Tuesday.
So now we're into November.
maybe I'll see if Ron Fay will be interested.
Okay.
Get some floodlights,
I
we
could
can
follow
do it
up
at
with
night.
Huh?
I can plow the snow up.
Yeah,
Build some stairs, and, hey, now.
yeah, but
And have an ice rink.
if we could get at least the walls in, get the toilet set, the vanity in, and things like that, have it ready, and then next year all we do is turn the plumbing on and the septic.
Yeah, you gotta get your electrical, get your rough inspection done.
Yeah.
Everything's gotta be legal, so.
Which
That
Kevin
would be nice for the town hall.
would be good for that. Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
all right,
Thank you.
next is, code.
I guess the only thing I have is, we gotta get the permit applications, online. So it'll be easier for people to do that, especially with the COVID thing.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, I'll look for that email, and if not, see if you can find it and send it to me.
I've got the copy of that, so.
All right. Justice,
So is that almost ready to put up?
what's that?
Yeah, the draft's all done and everything, and,
Okay,
yeah,
well, send it to me when it's done and I'll put it.
yeah, we will.
Thank you.
I don't think there's anything on the justice, is there? Of course, that's huge.
I don't have anything.
No. I think a lot of things going well there. Cemeteries. I do have, well, just to let you know, we did an extra mow again, because of the mowing and the grass growing. There was one that he said he didn't think it needed it.
Okay.
So I know that one he didn't do. The other thing is, and if I remember right, talking with George, when somebody asks to be buried in one of our cemeteries, he's like, we're not in the cemetery business. So somebody was asking about a plot down there by Power and Paddle. And I don't know, should we talk to Milt Doherty about that? If somebody wanted to go in there, would we allow that?
Huh.
You would probably know.
If
I
the,
almost think that, with whoever's doing the taking care of the body and everything, probably coordinate that.
And I think Milt would be the only one, if I remember right, I think there's only a few plots left in there. And if we don't want to put anybody in there, then I don't have a problem with that, I understand. But,
They'll fill it up.
Yeah, I mean, if there's space.
So what I'll do is, see if I can, I tried calling Milt today and he wouldn't answer.
Okay.
But, I will get a hold of him and see if he can't, figure something out for us and whether we want to participate in that or not.
And on cemeteries, Kevin, there was a gentleman that called both Bill and I can't think of his name. I have it written down at home. He's from Owego, and he said you've helped him before placing some stones
remember that old
back
guy?
from getting knocked over.
Yeah, he was from Berkshire, wasn't he?
Yeah, he volunteered to do it.
Yeah.
Well, he's at a stage that he can't lift anymore.
Okay.
So he was wondering if the town guys, if he came and showed you what needed to be done, if that's anything you would have time to do with the town guys.
I ran into him probably this time last year, Patty, and we were gonna go up on the one on West Candor Road, and I never heard from him. So, yeah, I mean, we can try to help him out, yeah.
Okay,
We
so
have
do
in
you
the
want
past.
me to give him
Yeah,
your
give him
telephone number?
He had it,
Okay,
but yeah,
All
give it
right.
to him, that'd be fine.
okay, good. I have his
Yeah.
name at home. I thought I brought it and I didn't.
Yeah, we helped him, well, down the Woodbridge
Yes.
and also up on, Chapel Hill.
Okay, Chapel Hill's the one that he's saying needs again,
Okay,
some stones moved or,
yeah, there's a lot of springs up there.
okay, good, thank you.
Actually, I have a question. How many cemeteries do we have in town where you could put somebody if you wanted to put somebody? Just curious, because
I'm
wouldn't
not
it
gonna
be,
answer that. And I'm not gonna throw anything at you. I really don't know.
wouldn't it be good to find out that information before Milt, in case something happens to Milt, so you'd know? I mean, I don't know.
Well,
How many-
exactly.
We have a record of them.
And we did.
I'm just curious. 'Cause
George
it's-
Williams was handling all that before.
Yeah,
And like George always said, we're not in the cemetery business. So,
Yeah,
And I think George mostly had it all in his head. It wasn't written down.
yeah, which is like, well, that's why I said maybe,
Well, they do have some maps of the cemetery plots and stuff like that, where the bodies are, that kind of thing. People are buried.
so it wouldn't be that hard to figure out if someone said, I wanna put somebody here, do you have room? You'd be able to figure it out.
Well, we
Find where
wouldn't,
the
but
files
whoever
are.
runs the cemetery would.
Yeah, okay.
Don Weber used to be in charge of the one over here, and I thought he knew the information. I thought there was something like 9 in Candor and only this one is any space, but Don Weber used to take care of that.
Yeah.
No, there's one down in Wilseyville too. I think those two are private, right? That one and this one.
Yeah.
They're not owned by the town. Town only takes them over when they're abandoned, basically.
I know, I just know he told me, I thought there was 9 at one time. Only this one is open.
Yeah, there's a few
Now, wouldn't be a bit
plots.
surprised.
And I think there's a few plots here and there, but it's
Yeah.
nothing that we don't go out and look for people.
The one in Wilseyville, I know Vern Quick and his wife are involved in, so they would probably know that answer too.
Well, Denise Peckins now does this one.
Yeah, he took it over from Don.
Yes.
All right, well, that'll be a work in progress. How's that? See what we can find out on that. We can move on to the highway. Jim's not here, so he would always say, Kevin, what do you got to say?
The pickup and the grader went on Teetsworth, well, will go on Teetsworth tomorrow. The auction runs from the 13th through the 19th. At the end of the auction, I'll give Bill a call, and I don't know whether you want to coordinate with everybody else. It's a yay or nay on whether we're going to sell them for whatever price they bring.
Mhm.
So I'll keep you updated on the 19th of what they bring, which I believe is next Tuesday night, I think, isn't it?
Okay.
19th?
The 19th is
Yeah.
next Tuesday.
Okay, so. Laser Road, we'll put a top layer on that tomorrow. We're paving that. We had a little glitch in the operation today. They got it fixed, so we're good for tomorrow morning. We still gotta finish up Newman Road. We're putting a layer of millings on that, the extension that we put onto it for the Amish family out at the end. So they're in the process, they're milking now, small number of cows, but they're in the process of being a farm, so we'll finish that up for them. Hopefully late next week, we'll start shouldering what we paved earlier, Reservoir Slate and Brink. I'm thinking 3 days, 2 to 3 days, depending on the weather, so it should go fairly.
What are you using for a shoulder machine? Are you putting?
Counties.
Oh, great.
Yeah, the county should be done with it this week. They're down on West Nichols Road. I don't even know where that is.
Mhm.
So then they're bringing it back to the shop and heading this way. So they finally got some parts for that. I was talking to Bill and Patty today. The Culvert Project, for lack of better terms, up on Tuttle Hill. We made it past the phase 2 of the project for the grant. And it just so happens that tonight at 5 o'clock, they were talking that Tioga County Soil and Water got a huge block of money. So cross our fingers.
Our money's part of that
Our
block?
money is part of that block,
Okay.
so I don't know. You
Right.
know, that was at 5 o'clock today, but it certainly perked my ears up.
Yep.
You know, so hopefully. I've been checking around on a low boy. Everything that everybody's got in stock, the 22s are just starting to come in. Everything that everybody's got in stock, they're high end, 50, 60 ton. We don't need anything like that. So I will get back with you more next month on that. One of the things that I want to touch on tonight is the prices of parts and materials and the availability. It's killing us. Tires for the 10-wheelers, we usually do the buyback program through the dealers. They can't get us tires. There's none in stock. They have none. They've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands on order.
Where are they coming from?
Yeah,
Okay,
not so much the tires as the material to build the tires.
okay.
We've got some. We were lucky enough that the dealer kind of mentioned this months ago, but it was very limited supplies even months ago. As far as like pickup truck tires, at state rate, we're probably not going to see any until January or February. Fuel prices. Fuel prices are concerning. Gene and I were talking about it today. We're through the county bid. We've maxed out on their fuel price, and then what they're doing is chipping away at the escalation price. And it's in the contract. It's going to be shocking this winter compared to what it was last winter when we were paying almost $1.20 less for fuel. I just want everybody to be prepared. My fear is that we're going to be in the middle of a snowstorm and we're going to have a $50, $60 part on a 10-wheeler that shuts it down and we can't get it for weeks. And I was up to Burrs the other day talking with them. I had swap out a part that we got, and the parts guys, yeah, it's happening right now. Little simple parts, $200-$300 parts are holding up a whole truck operation.
That's kind of like what happened with the mower, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. So I think it's going to be a challenging winter financially, and I think parts wise, I cross my fingers. You guys all know we can't stock all the parts for every truck. It's just impossible. But
And the new mechanic's doing good, speaking of,
the new mechanic is doing very well.
excellent.
I'm very happy with it. So yeah, I have no qualms at all.
And he's starting to get a CDL then?
Yes, he's got his permit.
Oh, good.
So he told me today too. He scheduled his test, and I can't remember when, Patty.
Okay.
It's quite a ways off. I think he said like 6 weeks out.
Well, I know, Kevin, is in 2015, when we had that fire, we lost a lot of equipment. And you handled the situation, and we moved on, and we survived. And I have all the faith in the world that that's what we're going to do this year.
I know, but it's
Don't let it scare you.
Yeah, if the parts aren't there,
Well, if they're not there, then we improvise. We'll
Yeah, I
find
mean-
something to do.
Yeah,
We'll fix it.
We'll get through it, but it's just,
Yeah.
it's frustrating.
Oh, I'm sure.
Are there some parts, I know we're very limited on parts, but are there some that you can foresee that, hey, maybe we should purchase now to have as a backup that?
Yeah, we have, transmission lines and fittings. We had an incident here a couple weeks ago and, you know, ding, 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 you know, this isn't the first time this has happened,
Right.
but it took 3 days to get them. Well, okay, I'm not that far behind, so let's order way more than what we need.
good.
You know, but
General repairs you can stock up on.
Yeah,
yeah,
But on
Some of the
severe
bigger
stuff, you just
items,
have no
yeah.
idea what's
You
gonna
know,
happen.
right.
but-
alternator starters, you know, plow parts, belts, pulleys, that stuff, you know, we've got one extra sitting on the shelf. So it gives us a little
A
breathing
little
room,
breathing room, yeah.
but for me, when I'm, you know, a sensor, you know, a knock sensor or something crazy, you know, a $100 part.
Yeah.
That takes 3 minutes to put together
Right.
and you're gonna be done.
But we can't afford to stock that kind of stuff.
No,
Right. No.
no, we can't. I mean, there's thousands of parts.
Right.
that, you know.
Yeah, I was just saying any of the miscellaneous that we know we've gone through,
Right.
if we can.
Yep.
Have one, but what you're
Like
saying,
the
you've
easy
already
things, filters
started,
and
yeah.
whatnot.
started to do that. so-
Yeah, actually, the whole filter thing is starting to come back around. They're actually starting to restock everything pretty good. So we actually got in a pretty good sized order of
Okay.
filters here the other day, so.
Now, speaking of like delayed orders, would it be smart to maybe order a truck out of next year's budget now versus waiting?
They aren't taking orders right now.
They aren't taking orders.
December 1st is when they'll
Ah.
start.
And what's the status on our truck?
Unknown.
Parts of.
What killed them was the 9 weeks that they were on strike or whatever. Factory went on strike.
I didn't know that was 9 weeks. I kind of looked it up and thought it was a lot less than that.
They told me 9 weeks. I don't know. I didn't even know they were on strike.
Okay.
They said 9 weeks the other day. They went back to work for 1 day and walked out again.
Oh, maybe that's what I read. Okay. I didn't get too into it.
Yeah. So I don't know.
So absolutely no timeline at all on our.
No.
Okay.
It's in the system.
Yeah. That's all you can do.
So what they're telling me is once they enter it into the system to be built, Patty, they'll give it a VIN number. As soon as they get the VIN number, then they'll order the box, the plow and the wing and all that stuff. And usually it times out about right. By the time the truck gets there, the stuff is already on the ground.
Okay.
But when they order that stuff, the dealership has to pay for it because it's an aftermarket company. So they don't like to order it a year
Mhm.
ahead of time.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Nothing else? I got one other thing for you.
Okay, what do you got?
When we had our meeting down there for sexual harassment, workplace violence, training, we talked about the fuel tank pump. Did you investigate that more or did you kind of forget?
No, he called me last week. He was supposed to meet with me last Tuesday or Wednesday and he's on quarantine.
Oops.
Yeah, I was in that, I should have wrote that down, but I was in hopes to have you guys a quote.
Yeah, because do you believe that we can just put a pump in or are we going to be safe with that same tank that we have?
No, the tank's fine. Yeah, the tank's fine. It's gonna be the pump and, the key troll unit and
Right.
everything, cause, they're all together.
Mhm.
You can't separate them.
Right.
I tried to get him to do that the last time. He said I can't. Everything's gotta run through that key troller
Yeah.
to trigger the pump.
All right, as long as you checked on that, because we've got to get that
Yep,
taken care of. Yeah, nothing else.
I'm good. I think that's it.
Seems how we're in the highway part. Rob, you got anything for us on the highway? How we doing on our bridges?
So I'm waiting to hear back for Richmond work, so I'm hoping
Okay.
in the next couple months we'll hear if we were successful for the
Prospect Valley application that we put in. But as far as the second bridge beyond, so down Prospect Valley, what's
Vanderpool.
Vanderpool, I need to reach out with Delta. We need to sit down with them and kind of get the repair off.
Did you get that, Kevin? Delta.
Delta, we were cracking our heads.
I wrote it down too, not that it'll matter.
Yeah.
He's been reaching out to me, and it's just been tough during the day to get back in touch with him. So
Okay.
I'll definitely make that a priority to get in touch. I think we wanted to do a feasibility study and kind of figure out what are the other components on the bridge that need work, and then be thoughtful about the long-term plan. So there's an immediate need for the corrosion, but then what else do we need to do? I think we need to get smart about that. So
Yeah.
that's really the intent.
Especially as nice as that deck is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Don't they usually award the Bridge New York programs November, December around?
Yeah, I think somewhere around in here in the fall.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm hopeful that we'll be successful, but we'll see.
Okay. All right. We can move on to dog control.
Looks like she had a pretty slow month.
Well, you know something, she texted me today, and this is just a mileage chart right here.
Yeah.
That's all this is. Her other report is not ready. Got busy and lost track of time.
So now we're looking, now we need 2 months?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I left her, sent her a message to just drop it off, and we'll get them in our monthly files. At least get her reports in there, and we'll bring them up at the next meeting. As usual, all we do is look at it and see how many dogs she's picked up and this and that.
Yeah.
And it's nice that we don't have no complaints from her. That she's, because I know she's doing a fantastic
Mhm.
job.
Yeah, and her rescue just took in a whole bunch of seized dogs, something like 12,
Wow.
and 2 of them were pregnant. Huh?
From the Appalachian.
Yeah, a bird, was it Appalachian? Wait, 2 of them were pregnant too, so that kind of added on to the timeframe.
Okay, as I talked about last month, we do have the EMS committee on here, but at this time, there's no reports.
They've been busy.
Curtis did send me an email and asked me if we wanted any kind of reports, and I would think the only thing we would want to hear now is maybe how many calls he had and how many calls we missed on the second code 2 calls, but to me, we'll worry about that come January. If anybody has any other questions, they really think we should do that, I can ask him to give us some kind of report in November if you want. If you don't, we can just hang on till January, it'll be February before we get a next one at the beginning.
And then their fiscal year ends December 31st, Ed?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
They are just getting dispatched right now. For the
Again?
third call in an hour.
Wow.
Goodness gracious.
Well, that won't get covered because
Nope. I don't know if the second, well, I think the second one did because they didn't get retomed, so they must have got a volunteer crew as well.
okay. Planning board?
So the meeting, they canceled their November meeting due to the fact that it's on election day. So they canceled that. They actually had a guest to a family that is interested. The wife works at Cornell on the husband or boyfriend, I don't recall what it was. He is getting a degree, but kind of changed his mind, and he wants to become a farmer. He's always wanted to be a farmer. They visited, tried to get some information because they love Candor. They absolutely love Candor. They're looking to buy a farm here. He has a family cheese recipe. He wanted to actually bring it to the board, but I said with COVID, I wasn't quite
Comfortable with
sure,
that?
yeah, yet. But I did mention, we the board and Angie mentioned, the farmer's market and everything that we do in Candor. Mentioned the Goat Farm, Iron Kettle, and others. We had them reach out to Cornell Cooperative Extension, gave them all their information as to what, to help them in looking for farms and how to run a farm and all the questions that they may have. So we provided them that information, and very, very nice couple.
They were immigrants.
Yes,
I didn't hear where from, but they were really coming to,
we're in Europe, I believe.
yeah, I knew that part, but yeah, but definitely respectful and, wanted some knowledge and some guidance, and they came to see if we could help them. So it was really kind of cool.
Yeah, it's on video, and you can go to our
Yeah.
YouTube if you want to hear the conversation.
And it
It's,
was kind of long. I mean, there were a lot of questions.
yeah, they had a lot of great questions,
Extremely
but
respectful.
very, very. So more to come on that, and they also wanted to know the process. What they would need to do in order to get. I also directed them to Ag and Markets for any of the farm questions. Like, do we know how many animals we could have on us? I'm like, we really don't. And we indicated, we don't have zoning, so we really can't, give you, hey, you can't do this here type of a situation. But local law and state law and the ag laws will dictate what you can and can't do. Also mentioned to reach out to our code enforcement for any questions about local. So that was that. They talked a little bit also about grants, and we're kind of at the understanding that if we want to apply for any grants, we need to be a year out. So
That's how long it takes to get them ready.
Yeah, to really put together a strong grant application, you need to do your research, you need to have everything in place, and then try to work with an agency in some cases to really put the package together. So there's still looking into grants, see what's out there, what's going to be coming, and go from there.
Okay. Board of Appeals.
You want to speak about that? The Board of Appeals, what's coming up in your meetings or anything? Or?
Yeah, we have a meeting on the 28th of October. It's actually a public hearing to hear a variance application that was submitted for 12 Brink Road. They are looking to put up a carport, so we will be hearing that on the 28th, which is a Thursday at 7:15, and it will be in this courtroom. The other thing is, we were, at our last meeting, we talked about having Steve do a training for us, and like last year, we discussed reaching out with the planning board and whoever else maybe who hasn't done the sexual harassment and violence in the workplace training, and just take one of our meetings and have whoever needs it come to that and do that training.
And
Yeah,
that'll be evening class for those that work.
Correct.
Okay.
That's what we did last year.
Yep.
Worked out
Ed
well.
turned one of his planning board meetings into a
Yeah, I
training.
think we started it at 6.
Okay.
So
Yeah, we should investigate that more on who did miss. I got the list that was there. And of course, some of them, like Ed, who was at Cornell, and they've got it done there, but, and probably you yourself have already been through it. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll have to work on that list.
Okay. So you'll give us a date when it's set?
Yeah.
Okay.
Steve is hunting right now, so it won't be in the next week or two. But yeah, we want to make sure the planning board and us come with a good date and who needs it, and then, we'll make sure everybody's included in that conversation.
Another thing Norman mentioned to me, that one of the board members would like to get off the Board of Appeals if we knew somebody that would like to take a position on there.
To apply for it.
So if you know
So
anybody,
Board of Appeals,
yeah,
We'd like to find somebody with more of an agricultural background if possible. But we're basically at the beginning stages of putting our feelers out, so.
Okay. All right. I have nothing down on old business. Of course, we covered some of it going through the agenda. New business. I'd like to review the tentative budget. If anybody would like to see our tentative budget, I don't know if you have it, there's some copies right up here on the desk.
Same thing.
Oh, never mind. Thank you.
No, there's only one.
Oh, there is?
Yeah, it's just one stapled, one,
Oh, okay, because the one's stapled there.
Yeah.
one page is one-sided, and then we decided to make it two-sided after that. As you can see on the summary on the front, shows the proposed, the A fund, the B, DA, and DB. And as you can see, it's $2.9 million.
And the budget without the EMS went up $11,165, or a 0.45% increase. And then when we add in the contract for next year, it bumped the budget up to 18% increase.
Now that coverage for the town without the EMS in there, we bumped up the sales tax revenue to cover that, which in the past has been more than enough to cover what we're gonna be needing. That's what we're going on. So the next page here is the town board, the contractuals. Now, I believe most of these contractuals are the same. We might have lowered one, some of them, maybe a 500 or something like that. The justice salary, she, as the clerk, got changed a little bit because she was allowed to receive more money. She can only make so much money a year, so that's where she's at. Go down, the supervisors stayed the same. The bookkeeper went up 2%. And
All the staff went up 2% actually.
there you go. That's probably simple enough to just do that. Town clerk's salary.
Yeah, that it was reduced from last year's budget because Carol's hours have gone from 35 hours a week to 18 hours a week.
I just thought it'd be kind of boring if I went line to line.
So
We're
we're
moving down
skipping around
to,
a little bit at the ones that were changed.
as you can see, you like the town clerk deputy salaries, because of the hours change, we knocked 1,000 off that. Contractual, we knocked some money off there. The highly paid attorney.
I don't think Palmer thinks that.
Actually,
No, probably not.
I have a question.
Everything he does, I appreciate. Question on what?
Where's the money that goes to digital towpath?
Contingents.
The one. what is
Comes
it?
out of contractuals.
Okay. Cause it's going up slightly, like, I can't remember how much, but very little,
This year or something.
Yes,
less than 100, I think.
yeah. That comes out of the contractuals. Well, mainly the supervisors.
Oh,
I just wasn't sure,
Yeah.
just curiosity. I know it's in the cat, but.
Okay, and down to the engineer, we give him a little raise for as much work as the man's doing. I would like to give him a
Yes.
lot more.
We're very
Appreciate your
thankful
work,
for all
Rob.
you do, Rob. We
Thank
thought
you.
it was high, long past due, even though it's little.
Janitor stayed the same. Electrician, snow removal, we bumped that up just a little bit. Cause of the way it was last year. Building and equipment, we dropped down 1,000. Contractual for the building, we're at 50 grand. Of course, we got that roof to put on, which we was hoping to do this year. Tire cleanup, we're still at 5,000. Come to think about that, is that trailer gonna
I
be
was
gone?
just gonna ask that too.
I contacted,
Is it loaded?
no, the sheriff's department. And, see if the weekend warriors need a project.
Oh, I like it.
They've done it in the past.
Okay.
Okay, cause you'd like to get that out of there and
Yeah,
get that.
I definitely want to get it out of there before winter.
Yes, and not only that, it'll come off this year's
Budget.
Yeah.
budget. IT support. Supplies,
So the IT support, we
Yeah.
have the, joining in with Tioga County.
Yeah.
Is in that number. And having them do all of the hardware and whatnot.
the, mailing, we raised that up just a little bit. Everything else is staying the same, coming down. REAP stays the same. Contingency, we dropped. Dog control. Salaries, the 2% there. And the deputy, which she didn't even use, but it's there just in case something happens. See, the administrator went down just a little bit. Contractual stayed the same. I'm not quite, okay, as you can see, it says that 3625 400 for the EMS. It says there we have nothing in there. We had to change that line number. As you go down about 5 more lines, you'll see that's in there. Okay, boiler inspections, registers. The drug testing is 2,000. And there's your EMS. Highway superintendent. And the garage electrician, we dropped that down, 500. Equipment stayed the same. Garage contractual stayed the same. The street lighting went down 500, as you can see. Flags for the cemeteries. The pavilion. Hopefully that should be enough to pay to get that bathroom done, I'm hoping. Historical contract, so that's the signs, right?
Yes.
That's what I thought, that's right. Garage stayed the same. We raised the cemeteries up to 11,000. They were at 9 because of the mowing. We're gonna adjust that contract for next year. And the rest of it is normal. And of course, the same benefits on the, as far as the unemployment and health insurance. So if we want to move on to the revenues, which the revenues and the expenses will match. Real property tax. Penalties. Everything stayed pretty close except for the tax. And I'm coming down, register stays the same. The interest is down a little bit because it's down this year. Game chance, $10. As you can see, dog licenses, we brought that down a little bit. Fines and bails. That fines and bails, that's, I just want to let everybody know that when somebody gets a ticket and instead of, going to jail or paying a fine or anything, they go to a class and they pay $100 to go to that, and then that ticket gets wiped out. And that money comes to us, and I think we just got $1,400 for that. And I believe for the whole county, I think it was $35,000 for that quarter. And I can't remember exactly. I should have probably wrote that down, but it was amazing how much money the county is taking in on that. Other revenues. Mortgage tax, we got a little bit. But as you can see, the revenues that we expect and the expenses we expect are $1,145,112. That's just for the general fund. The A. The B fund, which there's not much in the B fund. Back when we had the other code officer, his insurances and everything was in there. So that dropped this all down the last couple of years. So you have your contingency, code enforcement salary. As you can see, that dropped. And the reason that dropped is he got another job in the town of Nichols. And for them to pay him, he had to take a cut here.
Because he can only make so much on retirement.
As a municipality and a state worker that he retired from. Okay. Board of Appeals all stays the same. Planning board salaries all stay the same. So at the bottom line, you can see that it's $51,195. And so much of the property tax goes into this one because it's town-wide. So we're only putting in $995,000 to cover that. Sales tax of $40,000 covers most of it. And that's your B fund. The DA fund. Salaries are staying the same. Machinery salary stayed the same. The equipment now, we had 250 in there, Kevin. We bumped that up to 275. And here's the reason. What's the deal of how we can purchase a all-wheel drive SUV used, I mean like an 2018 or anything like that for the code enforcement?
There's a couple different options there. I mean, we could reach out to an auction service, whether it be Teetsworth or another auction service, buy from another municipality.
Mm-hmm. Usually if another municipality does that, it's kind of wore out though, wouldn't you say?
Sometimes not.
Sometimes not.
Sometimes not.
Otherwise, we'd have to put a bid together for a used, say like 2018 and what you want on it.
Yeah.
And then a dealership could bid on it, on a used 18, I'm just gonna say like a RAV4.
Right. Yeah, we could do it that way. They also have, the state's still doing a mini bid process for a lot of smaller vehicles. I believe like sheriff's cars and SUVs and, home health nurses and that sort of stuff.
Would that be brand new ones though?
Yeah, and they're fairly cheap.
There's also a lot of grants out for if you want to get an electric vehicle that includes putting in at your town hall charging stations. But
Yeah.
they pay for them.
But
for
look
the-
at what you're looking for. You just told us a grant takes a year to get out of, this is
Yeah,
something.
these, however, are much quicker from what I've heard. I haven't looked into it much, but there's a lot more of them out there.
Let me do a little checking on the mini bid and
Yeah, because as much as it's gonna be driven around here, I don't need to do anything elaborate.
right.
But, yeah, we need to address.
Baseline, roll up windows.
I don't know if you can take them anymore, man.
I know.
You know?
But we need to address the code enforcement officer's vehicle.
Okay, I'll look into it.
Alrighty, appreciate that.
We tried the truck route and that didn't work.
No,
That was gonna cost us too much money to,
yeah.
Now, you're talking about parts and everything, Kevin. There's your machinery contractual.
Yep.
At 70. And I just looked at my financial report, and you're still at, right now, you got, what, 3 months ago, and you're at, I think, 40,000 in there?
Yeah.
38, yeah.
38.
So, we'll leave it there for now. But if it got to a point where we needed some money, we'll
Yeah,
figure something out.
that 38 will go up a little bit, guys. That report was 731, so if you had included what we spent this one.
correct. Or actually 2 months,
2 months,
August and
yeah.
September.
Okay, we stayed with the same, 150,000 for snow removal. So in the DA is, 659,500. And most of that revenue is covered under property
Mhm.
tax. Interest and sales of equipment. That's hard to estimate because not very often you have sales of equipment. Usually it's put into a contractual somewhere, and then if it's needed someplace, it gets moved. So that, with all the benefits, I'm sorry, I forgot to add in the state retirement and social security. So the DA is 746,480, which the revenues match. DB. General repairs salary, we did raise that up. That one. That is for guys working in the shop. I think that's general repairs there. Is that in the highway too?
That's on the highway. too.
Highway also, okay. Yeah. Well, okay, wait a minute. We got general repairs salary, general repairs contractual. Contractual must be the highway.
Yeah, that's the what I spend on roads.
I didn't realize we raised that up there, but I was still thinking it was 190. All right. Chips, it's hard to know what chips is gonna be. I don't, this year they raised it up to 411,000, but who knows if they're gonna take that away from us. I mean, it's always been around 311, as you can see back here, 316. And
We use that 316 number for a long time as a general
Right.
number.
And of course, we got our 20% back from COVID. And,
Yeah, they said they were taken away last year, but then they put it back
they gave
in.
it back to us along with a raise in the chips.
And the,
So hopefully next year when we get our chips, they'll say, all right, we're gonna leave it at 411, you know, then we can.
Cross your fingers.
Exactly. What else we have here? Snow removal salary, plowing, we raised that. The contractual went up. Same way with the retirement, as you can see, state retirement. Social Security. Disability insurance. Health benefits on this, I think they're the same on each side, correct? The DA, DB, I think they're the same. They split that. And the deductible, so now
And-
as you can see, the property tax to cover the 990,980. Real property tax, which is,
Bill, I did want to point out, back on the health insurance, the 9060 code, the proposed 2022 budget did go down, but that's because we lost a retiree, so
that's right.
we'll be paying for one less.
And, okay, so revenues. Property tax and sales tax revenues. Most of that sales tax revenue is going right in here. Which balances out to 990,980. Anybody got any questions on that? So what we'll do then is set a public hearing for November 8th at 7, and then we'll vote on the budget.
So we're doing it on a Monday,
No, it should be Tuesday.
then it would be November 9th.
Oh, thank you, Ed, because it'll be at our regular board meeting, November 9th.
It is tonight. It's funny, that 8 must be right close to the 9 ticket. We missed it. Just a hair off. I don't. You know what? I've got to put that in here again. Is privilege of the floor.
Oh, yeah, well,
I keep forgetting to put that in here. I told myself last time I was going to do that. Anybody got anything?
Silly question for you. With the whole cannabis issue legalized and everything, are they still gonna allow drug testing? Do they have to change what the drug testing is?
No, I
that's a
think
very
they'll,
good question.
I think they're still gonna be doing drug testing for
Well, there was some kind of
CDLs.
debate going on at some of the other boards, so that's why I was asking. Can
For
they-
us, for me as a highway superintendent, all my guys fall under federal jurisdiction.
Oh, okay.
Any CDL, any commercial driver's license is a federal commercial driver's license.
Yep.
So our drug testing will continue because the federal government didn't legalize it.
So it's different with villages, they're under federal?
If a person, an employee doesn't have a CDL, then that would be up to the town board or the village board on what they're gonna do for testing.
They seem to be debating on it, I was just curious.
I just want to make that clear for my side,
Yeah.
my guys have to
With
be
CDL.
tested.
Well, makes sense, but.
Yeah, the CDL drivers are the only ones that take the test, that do testing.
That is good to know.
Do we need to go into executive session or anything today?
No.
You wanna wait till next month?
Yeah, we've started, highway negotiations, but we've only met once, so I think it's a little premature to
Okay,
bring that up tonight.
well, if nobody's got anything,
Jim?
Good. The new guy.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second it. Sorry if I jumped in.
Oh, you can-
What time are we meeting Thursday morning, gentlemen?
In the morning's good for me, whatever. What time's good for you Thursday morning?
Early.
Yeah.
Eight.
8's good for me.
8 AM? Okay.
Have you already voted whether opting in or out on
Oh,
the issue? You know?
We're gonna be in.
We're in.
We're in. Absolutely. We've already talked about it. We didn't really have to vote on it. If we don't say nothing,
Do anything.
you're automatically in if you don't say anything. If you want to be out, you have to do your, the public hearing and.
Yeah.
And go
Okay.
through all that process. And I'm not,
Well, some
sure,
of them are
but, you know-
actually doing the ballot, so I didn't know.
I don't know. Are they doing ballots? Somebody is?
Richford, Newark Valley, some of the others.
Well, because they're trying to get it out, but I think they could just do that with a public hearing. I don't think they needed to do that by ballot. But, yeah. No, we decided that, last time we had that little conversation and you know what? The sales tax revenue, I mean, that's saving on the property, taxes as far as going up. I mean, that's what we raised this year to cover that.
Well, from all the meetings, it seems like you have more control if you're in, and if you're out, then you
Yes,
don't
it
have
does.
control over what's happening.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, you could have these businesses popping up.
So, okay, I'm gonna end the stream. I wanna thank everybody that, participated in the, online meeting. Thank you.
Did you guys vote to adjourn? I heard a